Vista Live TV is an information platform created by Vista Network Technologies to be an official source of information for corporate activities, Vista and industry documentaries, videos and products and services created by Vista, and special interviews with industry icons and affiliates.
Welcome to Vista Live TV. We are really proud today to have a person who is an icon in the industry, a person that his scientific value and support of Vista, it's totally amazing. It is a pleasure for me to introduce a real scientist, a person that I admire, and with the very little I know, and we're going to learn more about him today, you will come to appreciate. Welcome, RAJ. And I try to use that RAJ because it's the name. RAJ is the name that we're going to use for now, is it?
That sounds good to me.
It sounds good to you. Well, we have a lot of ground to cover, and as soon as we kind of unwind a little bit, we'll get into a lot of questions, because I know our people wants to know about you and know a little bit about the human behind the knowledge and that powerful brain of yours. So tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you for the introduction. A little bit about me is I have been involved in the manufacturing and the technology industry, for the past 2 decades or so. And it's my passion, finding new technologies, new developments, manufacturing, so on and so forth. So that's what I've been doing. I'm originally from Sri Lanka and moved to the US about 30 years ago. And I have pretty much all my family in Los Angeles. So a little bit about me.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. So you have been in the country for about 30 years, and your whole career has been in the manufacturing production industry.
Pretty much, yes.
And what is your educational background?
Electronics engineering.
Electronics engineer. Wow. So being involved in that field, so technical field, how do you get involved in this new space, this new technology of the cryptocurrencies?
Well, it's very exciting. I mean, it's way of the future, and it is in its early stages still, I would say, infant stages. And when Vista and their team came to me, it was exciting to get into something interesting and new, So that's something that I always look for.
New technologies, developing new technologies. But you're not only developing the new technologies, you're also on the production side.
That is correct.
Oh, fantastic. And you're producing this new product. I had an interview with the CEO of the company not too long ago, and he was telling me a lot of things about the product, a lot of things that a product can do. And coming from the manufacturing standpoint, what can you tell us about the product?
Well, number one, looking at the whole crypto world, that means multiple currencies. Everybody is interested in mining for them. That means mining means you have devices, computing devices that can go out there and help, these networks to send transactions and many other, factors. And of course, for the time that you spend and how powerful your computer or the system is, you get rewards from the network. So that means that's what's called mining. So a lot of people are interested in that, and they used to do this from their homes. But as, let's say, take Bitcoin for an example, as it has grown in popularity and the system has gotten to be extremely big, mining from home is an impossible scenario. Also, these devices have become extremely powerful. I call them energy hogs,
And extremely expensive also.
very expensive and a lot of energy, and it puts out a lot of emissions as well, and a lot of heat, also. So when you look at it, I believe we should be socially responsible. If you look at the world today, do we have surplus of energy? And the answer is no. Even with the emerging solar and wind energy technologies, in the world, still we have shortage of energy. So I don't believe when using so much of energy to support networks, currency networks, I believe you're not socially responsible.
Absolutely. We're going to have to touch on that on the next segment, but I can appreciate what you're saying, because the whole community or the whole world is energy conscious now. They're all thinking saving energy, being green, and all of that. So, and it's serving the planet also. So we're going to touch on that on the next segment. And thank you for the information. I know we're going to cover a lot more. And I know this is the first time you come to our group to do an interview, but I know we'll have more interviews with you. We'll come back in the next segment, and we will talk a little more about a specific product called the Mini Miner. And now we're going to have the opportunity to see exactly how simple it is to set up and operate the Mini Miner. And Mr. Raj is going to show us how to do it. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I'm actually very excited to show you. It is very easy to set it up and also operate it. That's why we call it the plug and play, technology we developed. So this is the Mini Miner. And I'm going to plug it in and boot it up, and then I will go through the rest of the process. So power, you need a monitor, keyboard, and mouse, so you can use a wireless mouse as well. So I'm going to plug in the HDMI cable. You can use a TV keyboard to the USB ports. If you have a wireless USB keyboard or mouse, you can plug in the connector here as well. Now I'm going to power it up, and you'll see the Mini Miner boot up. And I also have another Mini Miner here, and I will go through the process again. There is the power connector, that's important. Then there's the HDMI connector for your TV or your monitor. Then there's USB ports, that is for your keyboard and mouse. And also, if you have a wireless keyboard or mouse, you can plug that in here too. The Mini Miner comes with a Wi-Fi technology already built in, but if your internet works better with the connected cable, you can plug in the cable here as well. So I will show you how easy it is to set up a Bitcoin account and start mining Bitcoin. Now I'll show you, this is the desktop, Vista desktop with the Mini Miner, and I'll show you how easy it is to configure or set up your Bitcoin account and then start mining for Bitcoin. Okay, so when you click on, I'll do Bitcoin, configure Bitcoin. Okay, click on that. the terminal will open up, and right here you can enter your Bitcoin address. As you can see, I have entered the Bitcoin address here. If you have it, you can cut and paste it also. And then after that, you hit the enter key, and as you can see, it has already saved it for you. The next thing is you close the terminal, and you will see mine for Bitcoin, right? Double click and you run, and the program should execute and connect to the Vista pool and start mining for Bitcoin. It's that easy. It's very simple.
Wow, that's amazing. So you can do it in about 4 or 5 minutes.
That is correct.
And you're ready to roll. You're ready to make some profit. Thank you so much. That was a great presentation, and also shows how simple it is to do it.
Right. And as you can see, there's mine for Monero and configure Monero. It's the same thing. I'll show you. Monero is a little bit different, so it's going to ask you for a couple more things. It's going to ask you for email address, associated with your Monero account, and that will configure the Monero. Now, as we move along, we have always said that we're going to add other coins, and as we add other coins, there'll be downloads available on Vista website, and when you download it and install it, you will see all those other coins icons appear on your desktop, and you can mine for them as well.
But in the meantime, if you don't have those coins available, you can actually exchange for those coins. You're mining a certain coin, but you can actually go out and exchange for the coin you really want, correct?
I think what you're meaning is that you can mine for Monero, and if it works better with the mini miner, that you can make more dollars, and then it doesn't matter, as you have Monero, you can actually go to an exchange and exchange it for Ethereum or any other coins that you want.
That gives you flexibility to actually, even if you're not mining, you have access to other coins, correct?
Yeah, in many ways, yes.
Fantastic. Well, once again, thank you so very much for your help and all your knowledge. Really appreciate it. On behalf of our team, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have a couple of more questions for you. One of them, if I set up the mini miner on my TV, does the TV have to stay on while it's mining?
The answer is no, and I will demonstrate that to you. So if you look at the mini miner closely, it is blinking and is active, and you can see here it is actively mining right now. So this is the HDMI, that is connected to the monitor. I can remove it, and the miner is still mining, and it can mine for days and months and months.
Wow, without using the energy for the screen or the TV.
You don't need that.
Now, what else can I do with the mini miner?
Well, that's a good question. I'll be more than happy to, show you a few things. It can do many things, but few things it can do. So, another exciting news is the mini miner is the brain of your home mining system. That means we are working on new technologies, extremely powerful technologies that will be added to the mini miner, and the mini miner will control those devices. And of course, a powerful system means it produces more.
Super. So many ideas that came to my mind as you were talking, but this little machine, this mini miner, I can put it in my pocket for all those business people, MLM people out there, you can take this mini miner, put it in your pocket,
Okay.
go do a presentation, and you can be mining at the same time using PowerPoint or any other program
Okay.
out there and run it to this little computer, this powerful computer, and be producing at the same time. Isn't that great?
Sounds like a great idea to me.
Yeah, I was thinking of just not only having one in my pocket, but having 3 or 4 at home working while I'm doing the presentation. How's that? So, with all the tools that you're giving us, with all this information, is there anything else that you can think of to add to this presentation?
Well, like I said, you can do many things. This is Vista Live, and it is running off of the mini miner, and you can go on the internet,
So it's a Vista working
watch
tool.
the videos, whatever you'd like to do.
And we're back. Thank you for being with us. We're sharing a lot of information on these new products, and the manufacturing part and the technology of it is totally amazing. It's something that is going to change a lot of lives. And we have our guest, an electronic engineer. Mr. Raj is the designer, the creator of this marvelous product. So we're going to talk a little bit about the manufacturing part. So you were saying energy saving. So, but in the actual production and the mining, the cost is extremely high at this point if you do it in the commercial part. So how is that going to change with the mini miner?
Well, the commercial or not, even technicians, people who know how to build computers, build these rigs, they call it, it still takes a lot of energy to run them, So the mini miner was made with the ideology with no emissions, no heat, at the same time extremely low cost to actually run the miner, and so efficiency becomes very
High efficiency.
That is correct.
And when you mention efficiency, you're equating that efficiency to production or just the energy consumption?
When you're talking about, it's both actually. Production means producing coins or mining for coins. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So using the less amount of energy with the maximum production or output of coins.
Pretty much, yes.
Pretty
you
much.
can say that.
Okay. Well, we're learning, and it's a new technology. It's a new space, a new type of business. So it is important for our viewers to learn a little more. And nobody better to learn that from you, that you're the expert on it.
Okay.
So this mini miner is also a complete computer. It's a computer basically.
Yes, it's a Linux-based, computer.
Mhm.
Small footprint, and I will be showing that to you, I'm sure, later, right?
Okay.
And it's a full-fledged computer. It streams videos really well. It's great for home use, or people can use it to, for educational purpose or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, so using the Linux system is also a decision that you had to make right at the beginning of the conception of the product, instead of going to other systems?
Absolutely. Linux is much faster and efficient, so that's the decision that we made, yes.
Okay, so it was basically the decision was made based on how effective the system is.
That is correct.
Okay, so also when viruses attack the computers, the Linux system, it's a lot much better, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day what you want to do with your system, right? So Linux basically runs most of our computing world, from our servers to a bigger part of the internet and so on and so forth. Bringing that into a small, device and making it efficient to do. Mainly, we are interested in, the mini miner. Vista mini miner is to mine for cryptocurrencies. So we believe that's the right operating system.
Are there any limitations as far as the type of currency that the mini miner can run?
At this moment, we will release, a few coins that they can mine, Bitcoin, Monero, but the plans are that we're going to develop at least 40 currencies that the mini miner can mine.
And are you connecting to an outside source of software, or are you creating your own software to mine those coins?
So the Linux is basically available to everybody,
yes.
And there's definitely many packages that are also open source, but we spend a lot of time developing our own proprietary software for the mini miner to make it plug and play. So somebody can actually get a Vista mini miner, go home and follow few instructions. Within 5 to 10 minutes, they can start mining.
Wow. And that's one of the hiccups or concerns of a lot of people, because a lot of the people are not computer savvy.
That is
so they want something that is simple to use, plug and play, like you said, and the mini miner already does that.
That is correct.
You receive the unit, you plug it, and you're ready to roll.
That is right.
Wow, that's fantastic, because then a lot more people are going to be able to use it. You don't have to be a computer whiz to use it.
That's right.
Wow. How about we talk about the energy consumption, which is a major factor nowadays. The cost of the unit, it's what, 10 times cheaper than regular units, 5 times cheaper than regular units?
Well, I don't want to really compare, but if you look at it, there are miners that is out there, sells for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and then some specialized miners even sell more than $10,000.
Cool.
And they, depending on, what they're designed for, but even the commercial, quality miners that you can buy for $2,500 to $3,000 a month, when they go to pools, you have to connect to a pool. And when you're connected to a pool, usually it is making them less than $20 a day.
Wow.
And takes so much energy too.
Well, we're using a lot of technical terms that our viewers might not be familiar with. So I'm going to, in the next segment, I'm going to touch on some of them. For instance, what is a pool? So on the next segment, we'll explain to you guys what a pool is and how the mini miner is connecting to those pools and to make it more effective and more productive. So we'll be right back on the next segment. Let's wait for more information. We were talking about the mini miner, but the type of currency that it can mine, can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, we're going to release with, few currencies, Bitcoin, Monero, and few others. So, but down the line, as time goes by, as we develop, our software, we will be releasing different currencies all throughout the process, up to about 40 currencies. So that will be mentioned in in your website.
In our website. Well, that's a lot of currency that it can develop. Can it mine 2 of them at the same time?
It can mine as many as you want, but it's like, I would not advise that, because it's going to slow down, both. So at the end of the day, it's dollars and cents, mining. So it's not going to be profitable. So.
Okay. And with the coins that we're starting, those you have selected because the unit is more effective on those coins? So what was the criteria used to select the coins?
Absolutely. Because it is a small, machine. It is efficient, but it can do only what it can do.
Right.
And so we will look at statistics, with the Vista pool and how the mini miner performs with different currencies. And those are the currencies that we will suggest that, for them to find.
Okay. Well, before we go on break, will be one more question.
Okay.
For instance, in the Ethereum, and the Ethereum uses a lot of heavy graphic cards.
That is correct.
And when you have that condition, how would the mini miner react with such a load on the graphic cards?
Well, very good question. So with the mini miner, the way it is right now, it is actually built with a GPU. So there's a graphic processing unit built into it. But at the same time, we're not going to release Ethereum right now for them to mine. There are other technologies that we are working on, and the mini miner is actually going to be the brain of the home mining system. So.
Okay, well, we're going to have to clarify that in the next segment for sure. So let's go into the next segment, and we're going to cover a lot more about the mini miner and the technical aspect of it and the production, and we're going to get to see how it works. How's that? See you in the next segment. Vista Live TV, it's a new password. You're going to hear that a lot. And we're going to cover a lot of ground as far as questions is concerned. Specific questions. I would like you to talk to us about the pool. What does that mean?
Okay, so at the beginning of cryptocurrencies, people could use a computer from home. They can, figure out a way to be connected to the network and actually use that computer to go out there and do work for it. Unfortunately, now let's talk about Bitcoin has been extremely popular, a lot of transactions, so it has grown, so much. So you can't do solo mining anymore from home, so you have to be part of a pool. Pool means there are mega, powerful computers that connects to the Bitcoin network, so to speak. And then all the other miners are connected to the pool. So together, they go out there and do the work for Bitcoin network. And if they do the work correctly, submit it correctly, they win the reward. And when the reward comes in, every miner who was part of that pool gets a portion of it.
Okay, so when you say they get a reward, that means when they're validating, when they're checking with their systems, validating operations, is that what they get rewarded, or when they solve the equation? Getting so technical.
Basically, it's the same thing. So once they solve the problem and submit it, and if the submission is correct, they win the reward. But solving the problem is actually doing the work. It's called proof of work, and submitting that.
So a person that goes out and buys some industrial equipment could not do it by itself, just with the equipment. He or she will have to be part of a pool.
Oh, absolutely. Nowadays, it is almost impossible. We are taking Bitcoin as an example to do solo mining. That is correct.
So the mini miner is going to be connected to one of those pools, or are you creating our own pool?
Very good question. Absolutely not. It's not going to be connected to any other pools, but it's going to be connected to the Vista Smart Pool.
Oh, wow.
So this is also very different than the existing pools that is out there. So it is much more efficient. It runs smarter. That means the Vista pool and the members, they're going to win more often, and that's going to produce more coins or income for everybody.
Wow, so it's not only just going to be a pool, it will be a smart pool. And you will call it smart because it will select, or it will be faster to report the answers, or why?
Good question. So let's take Bitcoin again as an example. So it's blockchain technology. So let's say, just to simplify, information is packed in blocks, let's say. So there are many pools out there, and most of the pools, it'll go out there and grab a block, and it starts working on that block to solve all the problems, and then submit that to the network. But just like I said, there's many pools out there. Maybe 4 or 5 other pools actually found that block too,
Okay.
and they were working on it. And if their submission, or if they did their job correctly and it was accepted before yours, all your miners did all the work, but you get nothing.
Wow.
So the Vista Smart Pool will look at the public ledger, and it'll see if anybody has touched that block. And if anybody has touched that block, you'll leave it alone and find another block. That way, the Vista Smart Pool does not sit there with its miners mining,
Okay.
for no reason. So
Okay.
every time when you mine, you are working to get that reward.
That's pretty clever. So you will be knocking at these doors, and if you see they're busy, or they're too busy, you will ignore it. You will move to the next one that is easily accessed.
It's not being busy, it's more looking at the public ledger. Somebody else has looked at that block. That means they're working on it, so we leave that and go to the next one.
That is very highly technical stuff, and we probably can get into it. And in the future, we're planning to do seminars, and that's something that you might want to spend the time and help us on that. And
More work
show-
for me out. Okay.
more work for you. But it's all for the good of the people. If they understand what's
Absolutely.
going on, it will be a lot easier for them to come to us and be part of that smart Vista pool. Because when you tell them smart, and like you explained it right now, it's not 100% clear, but I got a better understanding of what it is.
Okay.
So thank you for your time, all the information you have shared with us, and I know our people will really appreciate all the effort and your time, and we do too at Vista. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope it's not the last time you join us in one of the interviews.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for having me here.
In this video, you learn a lot about the mini miner. You learn about simplicity, how easy it is to connect, and how easy it is to operate. You also learn about versatility. The mini miner is a regular computer. You can take it on the road. You can run your business from the mini miner. But you also learn about the earning power of the mini miner. And there is more. If you become part of Vista as an affiliate, you can earn commissions from your personal sales. And if you're a business-oriented person and create a team, you can also generate commissions from your team sales and create multiple sources of income for you. Remember, the great opportunities are never lost. If you don't do it, someone else will do it. Contact the person that give you a copy of this video and ask her, how do you become part of Vista and start earning what you deserve?